you ever wondered what it's like to be on the receiving end of you? Every word that you speak and the tone at you deliver it. Your eye contact, your body language, even your facial expressions. I mean, we've all got that one person, haven't we, in our life that cannot help but let their feelings show on their face. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, no, I haven't, then, well, maybe, just maybe, you are that one person. You see, how we show up today has a ripple effect on those around us. Whether we're showing up as a leader, as a colleague, friends or family, it has never mattered more so than in this always on tech-saturated world that we live in. We're impacting people all the time. Whether it's the teams we're in or the company cultures we're creating, it's impacting on the next generation. And are we building this generation of really strong, resilient game changers? Or are we actually just building a world full of doom scrolling, screen-dependent followers? Are you ready to own your impact for a sustainable future? Because if we don't, we're going to stifle ideas, we'll crush creativity, we won't encourage growth. Behaviour drives behaviour. Or think of it another way, and that behaviour is contagious. So what do you want people to catch? I'm going to share with you 3 stories about behaviours that have impacted my life, but that I still see impacting lives around me and, like I say, the world around us and the future generations. I was walking across a major London train station here in the UK, and as I got to the concourse, I turned to my husband and I said, "Stop." "What?" I said, "Just for 5 minutes, I want you to stop and observe all of the people here on this concourse." "Oh, okay." So we stood for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I turned to my husband, he's here, imaginary, and I said, "So, what did you observe all the adults did on this concourse?" "Oh, they were all on their phone." "Yes, all of the adults, for either the whole 5 minutes or at least some point during that 5 minutes, did this." So I turned to my husband and said, "Absolutely. Now, what did you observe about all the children on the concourse? What did all the children do?" "Well, they didn't have phones." "No, you're absolutely right. They didn't have phones, did they? But what they were observing was that all of the adults, when they stop and they stand still, they do that." Who's guilty of it? Because I know I am. It's a habit that we've become. But what we've got to realise is that the ripple effect of doing that. I'll tell you what, next time you go out for dinner, yeah? Now, whether that's in a fancy restaurant or maybe your local cafe or even at a coffee shop, yeah? I want you to look at what happens when the people sit down at the table. How many of them do that? Again, I've been guilty of it. The thing is, what does that say to me? When I say, what's it like to be on the receiving end of you, what do you think when someone sits down and gets their phone out? Well, I'll tell you what it will say to me if I'm on the receiving end of you. That will say to me that something or someone is more important than this moment we are creating now. Something or someone is more important. Now, we've banned phones at home at the dinner table. Not actually, I don't leave them outside on the garden. But so if I'm out now, whether it's with friends, family, business people, and if someone puts the phone on the table, I will actually say to people, would you mind putting your phone away? And I have had, on more than one occasion, people do this. Oh, it's all right, I've turned it upside down. It's still there. It's still there on the table. It's still saying to me that someone or something is more important than this moment we are creating now. Think about it. Next time you get your phone out when you're among people, especially if they're just standing next to you having a conversation. Oh, hold on a minute. I mean, it's like if I got my phone out now, but, oh yes, sorry, Mum, I'm in the middle of a TEDx. Rude. I mean, this isn't a talk just about mobile phone behaviour, because trust me, I'd give you way more than 15 minutes on that subject. No, this is about behaviours and the impact that we have on others and what it's like to be on the receiving end of you. So, let's think about another story. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. My parents both smoked. My aunts and uncle all smoked. In fact, most adults in my life smoked. And they smoked everywhere. At home, in the office, in the car, on the bus, even in the aeroplane. I mean, how crazy when you think about it now. You get 500 people, chuck them up in a tin box in the sky, and you let all the ones down the back put a cigarette in their mouth and go... It's crazy, isn't it? It wasn't that long ago we smoked in aeroplanes. And do you know what? Even at school, I made an ashtray in my pottery class to give to my parents as a present. So did loads of other people at school. That's crazy, isn't it? But do you know what? Is it any wonder that at 16, I went home and I put my own cigarettes on the table because I started smoking. I saw that as normal adult behaviour. E-cigarettes were invented, were they not, to help us give up smoking as adults or smokers. And then vaping. And there's a vape shop, is there not now, on every high street. And the thing is, we've now got people taking up vaping. Oh, they never smoked, but they've taken up vaping. And I think that's a little bit crazy because we don't know what these vapes are going to do to our health in the future. We don't know the long-term damage these vapes are going to do. And I'm sure thousands of years ago, when the first human put that piece of tobacco in their mouth and lit it, they had no idea of the cancer risks of that piece of tobacco. We've no idea of the long-term risks of vaping. But what are we saying to the children of the future? Are we saying that when you become an adult, stick something in your gob, pooh, puff out a load of smoke? No, this is not the ripple effects that we need to be passing on to the next generation. What's it like to be on the receiving end of you? Okay, third story. I'm going to take it on the road now, not literally. You're in your car. Now, when we get in our car, can I say we're probably average, normal, kind of steady behaviour. I mean, you might be a little bit excited if you're going on holiday. You could be a little bit tense if you're doing the school run and the kids forgot their sports equipment. But let's take it the average behaviour. And then what happens is other drivers' behaviour impacts you, doesn't it? Yeah? Pulls out at a junction. Oh, does a manoeuvre, doesn't indicate. 2 lanes come into one, or someone just overtakes you, and suddenly you've gone from a nice driver to beep, swearing a lot, maybe some hand gesticulations, I won't do that, that's rude. And suddenly you've become that angry driver that maybe pulls out at a junction or manoeuvres without indicating. You wouldn't do that if you were on the street and someone pulled out the shop or just overtook you. You'd go, oh, sorry. And the thing is, though, when you're in the car, what would happen If you've got children in the back, what is it saying to the children in the back of the car if you do that? It's telling the next generation that if you don't agree with someone's driving, you have every right to bib your horn, swear at them, and stick your fingers up at them. No, we need to not do that. But how do we change that narrative? How do we change the narrative in our mind? Because it's a habit, it's an instant reaction. I'll ask you to pause. Not for this long when you're in the car, because you can't do that, especially without your hands on the wheel. But for a moment, the next time you see someone do that maneuver without indicating, pause and put it in your head and just go, "Oh, I see indicators are an optional extra on your car. Think of something else to say before." Pause, breathe, sit back. Change the narrative in your mind when you see that ripple effect of your behaviours impacting others. In fact, let's think of the ripple, yeah? That ripple effect of behaviours. And do you know what? Rather than it being a ripple, I want you to think of it as domino bricks. Now, we've seen the world championships of dominoes, haven't we? You know, where they've got tens of hundreds of thousands of these little bricks, and they've lined them up meticulously in different areas and over bridges and under tunnels, and then they start at the very beginning and they go, bing, brrr, and off goes all the different directions. That's your behaviour, that's how it impacts. It doesn't just impact the person next to you, because if you impact them, it'll impact them and it'll impact them. So next time you suddenly think about behaviours, pause. Be the domino brick that steps aside and stops that ripple. Be the domino brick that steps aside and stops that ripple. The more intentional we can be with our behaviours, the more positive impact we can have, not just on the world around us, but definitely on the next generation. Because when you repeat patterns time and time again, and when it's in someone else's life, when they see it repeated time and time again, it becomes their normal. Are you ready to own your impact on the world today? Are we going to build that strong, resilient game changer? Or are we going to carry on building doom-scrolling, screen-dependent followers? Yeah? Are you going to create those ideas? Are you going to help people create those ideas? Or are we going to stifle them, crush creativity, not encourage growth? I don't think any of us want that. I think we all want that strong leader in the future. And it's down to you. It's down to you. The more intentional you are with your behaviours, the more positive the impact will be. The words that you use, the tone that you deliver it, your eye contact, your body language, your facial expressions, everything will impact those around you. So I ask you, let the words you use be something that people remember kindly. Let your presence be something that people feel safe in. Let your behaviours not just be who you want to be in the world, but how you want the world to be now and in the future. It's not just how you live in your story, but how you show up in other people's. So I finish and I ask you for the last time, what is it like to be on the receiving end of you? Thank you for listening.